So yeah, are we ready for the album review now? Because what we do, for those who don't know, is every week one of us chooses an album, and the other three, including the person, I guess all four of us, listen to
Yes.
it all the way through at least once, for God's
At
sakes.
least.
Jesus, I stopped after the third song.
You're just gonna bring that up every time, aren't you?
Yes,
Like just some
like Craig
bitter
came up with a
queen.
rainbow rating every time.
You're welcome.
So yes, it's got the album review. That's the name of it. Very clever name. And this time it was
I love
John Grant and Pale Green Ghost that Mike came up with. But the way we've been doing it lately is the person that came up with it is the last person to talk about it.
Yes.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to go first?
No, that's fine. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Go
Who's
last.
first? We're talking about John Grant, Pale Green
Pale
Ghost
Green
from
Ghost.
2013.
I'll go first.
Here's Richard with his review.
Is it?
Yay!
Was it 2013? Wow.
Oh, I didn't even ever look up the year.
So
Yeah.
when you
that's-
showed that, I
wow.
knew I had this. I had it on CD.
Nice.
So, and I hadn't listened to it for a very long time. And so when I listened to it, I've listened to it like 2-3 times. In fact, I listened to it just before we started this live stream. And you see, there's another release that came out the year after of his that I also have on vinyl. And I like that one better. But this is still an incredible album, and the songs in them. The first couple of them are Pale Green Ghost and Black Belt. They've just got a good rhythm to them, and you can sense that he's going to be. He's got a grudge, and he's about to read everybody in the room. And it ain't going to be light shade, okay? He's going to be in your face with this, and then he gets into the songs, and some of the songs are all really good, but some of them they do make me feel uncomfortable because they're so close to a lot of emotions that I've felt and have contemplated and that. So there's that part like the song Vietnam. I mean, that one just and then the songs start. Am I in a Joan Crawford film here or what? What's going to happen? Is someone going to come out with scissors and start stabbing? There's some heavy shit going on with his lyrics, and it can sometimes it bumps me the wrong way, but then the other songs are also great. Ernest Borgnine, what a stupid song that is so good. But yeah, when like that song, I hate this town. Oh Jesus, oh boy, that but the final song, Glacier, he has this way of his delivery lyrically. He'll be like really serious, and then he throws in this other line that just it almost makes everything he was saying like a joke. But it's to me, lyrically he's creating tension, and then he releases that tension with that off the cuff remark or something like that, the way musicians might do something like that. It's just really I'm going to reserve higher rating for sure if we ever do his other one. What is his Gray Tickles?
Gray Tickles, yeah.
Something.
I
Yeah.
almost went. I almost chose
four
Gray
words.
Tickles. I was it's Gray Tickles Black. Yeah, I almost chose that one, but I went with this because this was my introduction
But I'm
to him.
still giving this four rainbows. Because especially after today's listen, even the parts that they kind of make me uncomfortable. But it's sometimes music needs to do that. It needs to push you into areas that are unfamiliar. That's why I still haven't given up on radio.
To me, am I next?
Do it.
You're
Okay,
up.
so his voice goes really. He's got a great voice, John Grant.
Doesn't he?
And it goes really, really well with the music, which the music is Gus Gus. The electronic stuff is this group called Gus Gus, I found out. So I'm going to have to find out more about them. I don't like their name. But,
Not on all his albums? Not on all his albums.
No, just this one and just the electronic stuff.
He does, yeah. He also uses a band called Midlake, which a lot of people from Texas will know. Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah.
But the song starts out great. The first song sort of sounds like this, the theme song to The Sopranos. It's just got that low, kind of techno sound. And then Black Belt is obviously, you can tell that's a single. It's just very, very catchy. Lyrics are great. Second person insults, my favorite kind of lyrics. You think you're so mysterious, you cannot be serious. That's not as good as The Cars, my favorite of all time. You think you're so illustrious, you call yourself intense, but it is close. So yeah, I'm already really into this. I skipped Vietnam. I was not a fan of. I don't, your love is like Agent Orange from Vietnam. You were not in Vietnam. Don't talk about Vietnam. Seamlessly changes a musical style, so he goes from this electronic stuff I was talking about into like this acoustic stuff, and it's nowhere. It's like Steve Miller Band, "Fly Like an Eagle." It's never jarring. It just seems to flow into these different music styles with no seams. So that's really cool too. A couple of love songs after coming up. I definitely prefer it. It doesn't matter to him. To "Why Don't You Love Me Anymore?" "Why Don't You Love Me Anymore" is kind of like cringy.
Yeah.
I just like a lot of the lyrics. I like his voice. I like the overall production. The last song, "Glacier," the lyrics are kind of questionable to me. I mean, I'm listening to this going through. I mentioned this on the last episode. My mother passed away a couple weeks ago, and so while I'm listening to this, I'm going through the most emotional, trauma or whatever that I've been through in like 25 years or so. So you would expect "Glacier," that song would connect with me, and it just didn't. I didn't get the whole thing about a glacier moving through you, and it makes a beautiful landscape and all. I did not feel like that. It's like a Hallmark card on acid. But yeah, I thought it was great. The only complaint I have is, again, just like the Rilo Kiley, it has that convoluted profanity, and it's just filled with it. And I am not a fan of fucking convoluted profanity. And the reason I put it like that is because obviously I'm not offended by profanity. I love profanity. I love profanity so much. I hate it when it's like kind of misused in my eyes, and I can't stand it when ballad people are singing it. I mean, this guy speaks fluently, speaks 5 different languages. This guy speaks 3 more conversely. This guy's a man of the world. This guy's a wordsmith. This guy's a poet. I'm going to need you to bring something better than "I remember when we used to fuck all night." I'm going to need something better than that. I'm so over the word fuck in like non-rock songs. In these ballads with "I wanna fuck you." That is 90s. I get it, this is 2013, but we got to be way past that. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You can speak 5 languages. Bring something better than that. But this album is just all over the album. I can't wait I hate this fucking town. That works. That's a little better. That's you can relate to that, but not. And it's all beautiful. And I remember when we used to fuck all. It's stuff like that. I'm just like, come on, dude. But that's my real only complaint. That, and this is one of those albums because it's 2013. I would definitely rather have the CD rather than the vinyl because it's one of those 60-minute albums where it's like 15 minutes on every side.
Right.
So you got 15-minute sides. You're flipping it over constantly. It's still 33 1/3.
Yeah,
but
other than that, I have it on the CD because the other album I have, that's what they did. They split it over 2 albums.
Yeah, I would rather hear like other people like Lenny Kravitz, for example. We'll take one of those CD-made albums and make it a 3-side album. And then side 4 is like bonus tracks or live tracks. So it's not quite. It's like 20 minutes a side instead of like 15.
Yeah.
But that's not John Grant's fault. That's that's vinyl and its limitations and all that. So I will give it 4 rainbows.
Go ahead.
And thanks for recommending that. That's the best one so far, definitely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's a wonderful
better
record.
Than the one Richard had. That's for
Stop.
Well, at least he didn't say Jenny. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, John Grant never stole Rose's teddy bear. That's for sure.
Maybe he did. Maybe it just wasn't on television. You don't know. All right. So first off, Mike, I want to thank you because as I was listening to this album, this song comes on and I'm singing every fucking word. And I'm like, but I forgot who it was. and it's GMF, which like I love that song, and
that's another one. I hate that song.
That was the same.
The irony in that
the
song
first
is
single from the record too.
That just blew me away.
There are so many things that maybe it's because I identify with that song. I don't know. It's just not that I think I'm the greatest motherfucker, because I am far from that. But the line that you think I hate myself because it's you I hate because you have the nerve to make me feel. And I am so don't make me feel. Don't make me like you. Don't make me love you. Don't make me even consider you being human, because then that's gonna fuck me up, like just emotionally, just everything. And I was just going to mention this, Dewey. Thank you for spoiling everything for me, because thank God nobody's mentioned it yet. But thank you for ruining my life. Because why don't you, I know y'all said shit about the why don't you love me more, or it doesn't matter to him. But the second I heard Sinead's voice, I was like, oh, this man, I love him. We're going to get married. We're going to have a beautiful life together. Like, he's got Sinead singing backing vocals for him. Like, then he's going to introduce me, and I'm going to be like, girl, you're batshit crazy. But
she's not. You don't get introduced to Sinead O'Connor anymore. I don't think that
I'll
happens.
fix her. I will fix her.
Like Dr. Phil with
I will fix
what's the word? Shelley Duvall.
Now we know who the martyr of the group is.
Dr. Phil with Shelley Duvall all over again.
Well, I won't. But you know what? If I'll lock her in a cage and she can just sing to me all the time. But where the
Rick James martyr?
Sort of like the John Grant album where his head is locked in a cage.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
You've lost me. I want to sketch my way out of this. Okay.
Oh, that is such a great.
That is such. I do want to sketch my way out of that. Yeah.
Now, your way out of this. I wish he would have said "bitch" at the end of it instead of "reject." Because that's what I want him to say, and he did.
I don't want him to say that. I want him to say something like "reject," where you got a different word. You got him coming up with something that's making. Now anybody can say "bitch," and anybody can say "I'm the greatest motherfucker
You're exactly
alive."
right.
It's so annoying. I got a story after this.
But
I actually think the greatest motherfucker alive works.
Do you not get the irony in it, though? He's not the greatest motherfucker.
Oh my God!
But you
come up with something besides motherfucker. I mean, motherfucker should be said in a different way. Not I'm the greatest motherfucker. I don't. But
that's what's so.
But that's his
fabulous
mindset.
about it.
I get it, but it's not. We're not. It's not 1996. I got a story.
You know what? It is 1996 of my life every day of every year. Okay, it's never gone past 1996. Okay, so because he's 65% of the time. I'm gonna make you. You could be smiling 65%. No, I changed my mind. It's 63%.
I thought that was brilliant.
I changed my mind. It's 25% because I'm really not that funny. Right. I'm really not the greatest motherfucker. I'm really not this. Right. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Now, okay, with the keyboards and the shit, I got very nostalgia of early Vince Clarke and Yazoo and Erasure, and just kind of like I really felt that, especially in the You Don't Have To. The sensitive new age guy, I was like, what? Because the sensitive new age guy is a chick. Because he kept saying she's a sensitive new age guy. So I was confused, and I needed to write Dear Abby a letter, or I don't know. Ernest Borgnine, now you guys mentioned that. I couldn't get past the robot voice. I could not focus on the lyrics, and I could not get past that terrible saxophone bullshit that was going on. I felt like I was listening to Kenny G. I wish it wasn't there, and I wish the robot voice wasn't there, and then maybe I could have listened, because I believe that's the song that's about him being positive, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm not trying to disrespect that, but I couldn't get into it because there's this terrible robot voice. Is Barbarella around here and the robots are coming? I don't know.
Barbarella, psychedelic.
Got a kind of cuckoo shell. This is not Barbarella hour. And that saxophone thing, I hate this town. I dedicate it to my hometown it was everything I felt about that fucking place. And Glacier, now when I was reading it, said Sinead did the backing vocal. I never heard her in that. But then there is this thing called Get Schooled, which was like an EP that came out after this, which has other artists coming in, and then she actually does the vocals on that. So I'm giving 4. Yeah, I'm giving 4.
Wow, 4s across the board.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like 4 4s? Wait a minute,
Yeah.
Mike didn't give his review.
Mike has got to
Mike
talk about his
about his album.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, John Grant, Pale Green Ghosts. This is, like I said, I was going to actually go with Grey Tickles, which is this album that follows this up. But I thought this was, well, first of all, this was my turn on to him. This was the first album I ever heard by him. He has one previous, and I just, there's something about this record. I love this record. I love his sarcasticness. First of all, John Grant was born in Michigan. He moved to Iceland. He lived in Reykjavik for a very long time. He may still be.
I think I was looking that up. I think he does
still
live
lives
in
there.
Iceland.
Yeah. He's traveled all over the world. Very young. He was in a band called the Czars. They released about 4 or 5 records, and then he left the Czars and started doing solo stuff. He's lived in St. Petersburg, Russia. It's not St. Petersburg anymore, but he's lived in Russia. He's lived in Poland. Iceland is his home. He's HIV positive. He's a gay man. He's a heavyset man, and he's just not the typical gay artist that we all see dancing around and stuff. And I relate to him. There's something about him that I relate to, and his
album was nominated for a Grammy or something like that.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was looking some. I can't remember what award it was, a music award, but this got serious accolades. He bumped out Police and somebody, or not the Police. He bumped out somebody else from contention.
Yeah, I mean, Creed. I saw him on this. I saw him on Creed, probably. I saw him on this tour at Shuba's here in Chicago, and there were probably 150 people there at the most, and it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. You guys did a great job of summing up everything. I don't even know what else I can add. I do absolutely love Glacier. Glacier is my favorite song on this record. The single, which was the first one, was GMF, Greatest Motherfucker. I get the use of that phrase used in this. He has a lot of he's sarcastic, he's bitter, especially the bitterness really shows up on his next couple of records because his partner at the time gave him HIV because he was cheating on him all over the world apparently, and he has no qualms about throwing people. I'm gonna drag your ass. He drags everyone. I mean, on his neck. Is it the next record or the record after? I mean, he has a song called "Smug Cunt," and was that my cat or was that your cat?
It's yours.
This cat over here.
Oh, you're
the one that's lost its hearing and now is louder than ever.
I see.
So I just absolutely do this. Lyrically, not lyrically, but in the same vein as like a Warren Zevon, just throws it all out there, puts all his emotions and feelings, everything into his music, but does it in a sarcastic, almost humorous way. And and he follows it up in his next 2 records too. He continues. Actually, his next record gets even more sarcastic and hilarious.
Yeah.
But I love this man, and I hope he keeps making great records. This is I don't know when this one came out. It's on a cool
2013, right?
Vinyl. Yeah, 2013 I think it came out, which is hard to believe. I can't believe this record is that old. But I think his voice is great. I love his message.
Agreed. I did feel some almost like Rufus vibe there, like.
A little bit.
And
Yeah,
it,
you
You're
can
a
tell
lot
it's
of
not
definitely
sisters,
not
sister.
saying that he sounds like, but I definitely got some like Rufus
no.
Wainwright
There's that.
in there, and kind of
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just really like, when I heard, GMF, I was like, I forgot that I knew that song. I don't know how I knew that song. I don't like, I just like, but it came on and I was singing along. I was like, how the fuck do I know this? But like, yeah, so thanks for bringing that back into my life. But
You're
although,
welcome. No, and he's wonderful in concert. If you guys ever get to see him, he's not playing small clubs anymore. When he comes to Chicago, I mean, it's a small club, but a couple thousand now. But and he's terrific live, absolutely terrific. He's very personable. He's very just down to earth, and just I adore the guy. So,
Quintessential bear.
yeah, quintessential bear, exactly. Yeah,
He's got he's a hipster with a shorter hipster bear.
a little bit.
I do love the way he can throw. I mean, he gets real serious with his lyrics, and then he tosses this one line that just kind of,
yeah,
it almost like he's mocking everything he said, but he's not.
Yeah,
He's just, hey, lighten up.
And
it's almost like the band with the biggest influence of the 20th century ending their last album with a 13-second or 23-second song called Her Majesty.
Yeah.
And making everything before it seem like, what the hell? That's how they're going to end things?
And what you just said, Richard, is exactly why I make the Warren Zevon comment. It's very similar, like, very serious, and then just like throws a line in. It's like, yeah, everything's fucked up. And I'm just fucked up. And, yeah, it's just very... I like that. I'm a huge Warren Zevon.
It's our highest rated album now,
Yeah, that's a lot of brilliant lyrics.
Was I not listening?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
What? How many rainbows?
Yeah.
So how many?
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm giving it 4. I'll never give a 5 to any record. So, but
Well, then
4.
why have a 5? That's what Richard said.
come on,
Richard
we're
one
gonna
time
have
said,
5.
wait a minute. Richard
You
said if
settle
he
down,
really,
girl.
really has
We're
to
gonna have
hate...
5s here.
You
Then
can't
next
just
week
never have a 5. Then why does it exist?
If one of you, because 5 should be like special,
Like
if you
Night
guys are gonna
Moves,
pick
yeah,
it,
that's why I gave that 5.
or London Calling.
So, John is
the one
now
I
tied
might
with Night Moves.
recommend next.
What
Yes,
are you
which
picking
is
next?
which
Wait,
is
hold
what?
on,
So we
hold
got
on, I
4,
gotta
so
take
that's
a break.
20.
Hold on. I'm listening though.
So we got 16 though. This is the
16, not
highest.
20. God, I'm awful at this. Is Chris at Record Talk still here? God, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, Chris, we need math help.
I just said 4 times 4 was 20, people. It's that bad. I blame the alcohol.
Oh God, we're off the hook.
We need a 5th Guncles to match your math.
Jesus.
But no, that's the highest rated.
Hey, well, 4 4s, that's 20.
album, with the whole bunch. So that's
No,
great.
I'm glad. I'm really glad you guys liked it. It's
Oh my God, he is
a
here.
terrific record. So
How embarrassing.
yeah, it's like
Well,
sorry, Chris.
You
And yes,
can't
that is a-
own it,
that-
you
that's-
can only rent it.
Somebody was saying a cat was huge that I had. That's actually a small cat. That's a Maine Coon cat, and that's actually small for that breed. Maine Coons are usually...
Yeah, they're
Right,
huge.
yeah.
Huge.
Jesus,
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
be as big as a
Yeah.
puma.
Yeah,
But before you get to your record that we're going to review next, I just have a quick story. One of the reasons why I'm so cynical about fuck in songs and used in ballads and stuff like that. When I was in rated, like this was like 1999, there was this band, and it wasn't a band that became anybody, or they would never became popular, but they had their whole album done, mixed, ready to go. They present it to the record label. The label execs say, "Go, we'll pay for it. Go back and redo 3 vocal tracks." Now, to redo 3 vocal tracks, that means you have to remix the album, re-engineer everything, redone.
No, it's not-
Record label's
not
going to pay
easy.
for this. Redo, and I don't know. We never figured out why the magic number was 3, but redo vocal tracks for 3 songs and make sure you put fuck in the vocals. This whole album plays and no one says fuck. What's up? It's 1999. We're going to need some fucks in there. 3 songs. Whatever songs you think they fit best, but we're going to need fuck in 3 songs.
Really?
That's
Was
a
it Creed?
record label exec saying that. And so
For
when you
real?
hear about that shit, it's like when somebody's saying like, I'm the greatest it's just like, really, dude, come on. You couldn't come up with a better...
Who was the person that song was written about? Because you know that is a specific person.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that person
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
record came out, and that person put on that record and was like, "Oh shit, this is about me." And that song is a dig. That
Great. So he's in Taylor Swift area now. That's wonderful.
I mean, he kind of was.
I would, if I could
I'm
sing,
all
I would
for
be
it.
that
I
artist.
think it works great. I think it was great.
I don't like lackadaisical. I don't know. I don't know how
I get it.
what I call it is contrived profanity. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of somebody writing down the word
Well, then
fucking
you
and
might
singing
not
it.
be a fan of some of the lyrics in this record.
I
I'm
know
going to
this.
recommend.
I don't mind. I mean, I love Jefferson Airplane and MC5 and all that when it meant something, you know, when it was like, God, did they just say that? Wow. But, 2013, come on. Anyway,
Yeah.
I told my story, right, about the guy with the
Yes.
record label. I almost told
Yeah,
that
you
story all over again. I'm like, wait, I already did that.
You didn't say
So
what
we're-
band it was, though.
I think it was like, it wasn't, I don't remember. It was like Into Another or Endo or some band that never really made it. It wasn't like, Green Day or something.
Into Another.
And
They
that
probably
band
Into
turned out
Another.
to be the
They
Dave
probably
Matthews
should've.
Band or whatever.
Oh, Dave Matthews would never say
No,
that.
for every
With a
like Dave Matthews
mouthful of
Band and whatever, there's like 20 bands that sound just like whatever band that had one song and are totally forgotten. But like, what's the next album we're listening to? It's Richard's turn to
Richard,
come up
tell
with
us
that
It's
album.
Richard's turn.
All right. So
Tell us, Richard. I'm anticipating. Oh, I knew it was coming.
Two Dogs Fucking. What is
What is
that?
Yes, that
Headrest. Scar Seed Headrest, Twin Fantasy. Now here's the thing. The original release of this was in 2011, and then when they signed with Matador Records, Will Toledo went back and redid the record in 2018.
Okay.
When that happened, they gave each of the versions a name. All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're going to go listen to this, for example, on YouTube or something like that, you want to make sure you're listening to the mirror to mirror version, not the face to
Mirror
face.
to mirror.
Yeah.
I'm
That's so
writing
just
it
like-
on my notes. I got my
I-
notes.
I'm glad Craig is writing it down. I'll be texting him after this.
Please
What
do.
are we listening to?
So yeah, just so everybody's listening to the same thing, because the mixers, he remixed everything. He changed some lyrics.
So when did the remixes come out?
That was his when he signed with Matador Records. So it was 2018. He needed to deliver some stuff.
Thank you,
And you
Robert.
said the original was what? 2011.
The original was 2011, and
Okay,
that's
but-
face to
But we are
face.
reviewing the 2018 version, right?
Yes, That is
okay.
correct. Mirror
I
to mirror.
understand.
Wow.
I am on the same page as y'all. Okay. Mhm.
Got moving parts
Yeah,
on this. Lot to
please.
unpack.
What? What about?
There's a lot to
slut?
unpack here.
Oh, I thought you said sluts were unpacking. I'm like, do you have visitors?
Oh man, all my suitcases are
Sluts
empty
were
right now.
unpacking. I'm not.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I don't
that's
know.
a whole other
I
conversation.
have a hearing
Not
problem.
into that either. What is the deal? Anyway.
I don't know what's going on. That's
Never
I don't
mind.
think anybody does until
I'm old.
it's all over, and then we realize that. Oh well.
What happened? It's not over. Craig has to give the. It's now
Well, I
time
Yeah.
for what
the
record
scenario.
would you pull?
Oh,
All right.
God.
This
Let
is
me-
where
I don't wanna drink
one of
anything.
us gives a scenario every week, and the others have to say what record they would pull in that scenario. This week is Craig's turn. So what's the scenario?
This is going
So-
great, by
so-
the way.
Yeah, this is
So, like, you're meeting up with the homies, the girls, the bitches, the hoes at your hometown Pizza Hut, right? Like, we're going to go up to the Pizza Hut. We're going to get us a slice. And you go into Pizza Hut, and the same damn jukebox has been sitting there since you were in high school. What song do you pick to annoy the fuck out of everybody in the room?
Why would I want to do
Thank
that?
you.
That's like against
Because
every
it's
DJ principle I
best
have.
show. It is
Nicely done, Craig.
best show.
Good.
I don't have it on
Wait a
record.
minute. What year is
I don't
this?
have it on record.
It
Any
is.
year.
Okay, now
I go back to 19.
I want to tell
high
you,
school.
it was like in the 2000s, but it was the same freaking music that was in there in the 90s.
Okay, so
they
we're
never-
Oh, in the
90s
90s.
music.
Okay.
whatever y'all want to do. I mean,
Well, no, because I would grab from like the 1970s and that fucking horrible song, "My Dingaling." You know, that's the one I would play to
It's
annoy the
always
hell out
about
of
your
everybody.
dingling,
it
Richard.
is always about your dingling, but I really feel like sometimes it's about everybody's.
That's my ding-a-ling because that was the song that
It
was
is. It is your
released the
birth.
day it was
is
number
your
one the
birth
day I was
song.
born.
It is your birth song. Mine was fucking like Diana
So
Ross
in the
in the morning.
1990s, what would I play to annoy somebody in the
Mine was
1990s?
mine
What
was
it-
incense and peppermints. The day I was born was number one. I love that song. What was that? Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Is
Great
that who
song.
it is?
Yeah, that's a great album. Wow, they're all like running. I know what I'm picking.
Paulina, Mambo
'Cause-
number 5.
Oh hell no!
Chris, don't worry, be happy. I
Chris?
mean, these are good. These would annoy people, but
Five.
Oh
I
my
went-
god.
a little bit of Craig
I
in your eyes.
I went to see
don't think I
Cher
have.
about 10 years
I
ago.
got something.
I'm not a Cher fan. I went to see it because I had backstage passes, and
You had backstage passes for Cher.
yeah, she wasn't there. Don't even.
Oh, so
But-
you didn't even.
but-
Okay.
So I'll tell you later. So we go backstage, and it's great. And Cher's on tour, her final tour, whatever. And we go, and the entire tour, Cyndi Lauper is opening. And I'm like, great, I want to see Cyndi Lauper. I like Cyndi Lauper better than like Cher. And the one stop on the entire tour, Lou Bega, the Mambo guy. Cindy didn't show up or something.
Oh, for
It's like-
real.
That used to be on my
got
workout
to be
I
playlist.
saw her in a bookstore once. I saw Cindy in a bookstore. There
Bega?
were like 60 people. No, not the Bega.
I
Cindy
bet you saw
Lauper.
Lou Bega in a bookstore.
Well, that was a
Bookstore.
different bookstore.
Yeah,
But I saw
bookstore.
Cindy Lauper and there was like maybe 100 people in there, and she was doing a little acoustic like guitar and everything. It was fabulous. But
Hey, that's what I wanted to see.
That's the exciting
we
moment you
saw
had
Lou
in a
Bega.
bookstore? That's the wrong bookstore, man.
no, I mean I've had.
Let me
it
tell you about the
never-
time I had in a bookstore one time. There's
Please.
3 guys.
And they were reading
Out
astrology.
of town.
They're
One
like,
of them
"What's
had a
your
John Deere
horoscope?"
shirt on. I don't remember why I remember
Oh, I
that.
love John Deere.
He worked for John Deere.
He will forever be John Deere shirt guy. We
That
still
was his
talk about
name.
him.
Oh, it's like that line from the
remember
Lonely
now.
Hearts Club. You're the J. Crew guy.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
So we're picking out 90s.
Okay, so
I
what are we
would-
doing?
No,
If
I
we've
got
got
you really
hose
have-
and
I'm
first of
telling
all,
you,
hose
mine's
and
not
bitches, the
90s.
hose can stay. Okay, that's all I'm saying about that. I don't know about hanging out with bitches, but enough of
yeah,
that.
bitches, hoes, yeah.
Can we split up the hose and
Explain it
bitches?
again, Craig. What are we doing?
Okay,
We
it
got-
doesn't necessarily have to be a song from the 90s. It's just this jukebox has
Right,
been
right.
sitting there from the 90s.
We-
So
we all-
mine are definitely not from the 90s. So this is
Remember
just
that
something,
jukebox everywhere.
yeah, just
There was
so
always a
like you're
jukebox
hanging
somewhere.
out, you go to the Pizza Hut, you're like,
Yep.
hey, I'm gonna play this song because it's still on this jukebox that has been there since 1989, and I'm gonna annoy everybody with it.
You're playing it to piss people off.
I am.
Well, I'm
playing-
going to
Oh,
play something that
wait,
I
we're
like
playing
then that will annoy other people. If you're
Well,
annoying
yeah,
bitches and
no,
hoes
again,
and
it
my
could be
dogs,
something that like you love, but to
Yeah.
everybody else it's annoying.
Clutch, Escape from the Prison Planet.
What the hell is an escape to the prison? Planet
Exactly.
I
Now, you
just
talk about some
ordered
hoes and bitches being annoyed.
Are
This
there
would
different hoes?
annoy hoes and bitches. You cannot dance to this. This isn't trendy. Yeah.
It was
And
I'm
those are
looking
tour dates from the
forward to
1997 in
discovering
case
what that
anybody's
is.
interested.
Wow, I am looking forward to finding out what the fuck that is.
Clutch, Escape from the Prison Planet is what I would play to annoy people who are homies and bitches and hoes.
And they're enjoying their Pizza Hut.
Miss
bu-
you. Thank you,
It's
miss
just
you.
so.
was just chase somebody away. And,
Who
we're
left?
worried,
Sure,
and
we-
you're worried about the gratuitous use of fuck in lyrics.
What? Not
Oh, yeah, it's-
gratuitous
it's all in
misuse.
my mouth.
Not gratuitous misuse.
All out my face.
Okay. All right,
What's on your face? What?
I'll do mine. So this has been in the jukebox forever, but secretly I'm a fanalo. But I know it'll annoy the hell out of everybody. And the song I would play is, I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
And he didn't even write that song.
He didn't write
Not
that
Mandy?
song. I just learned this from Fifth In. And
Yeah, you got very upset when I said that.
I was very sad because my whole life I thought.
Do I come
Barry
off as
Manilow-
like a headmaster when I'm like typing and people get so offended? I'm like, I just said he didn't write it.
Yeah,
But,
this stream
you know,
definitely needs a headmaster.
He explained that song, by the way. He said that song originally. Barry Manilow doesn't even like that song. Richard picked a song that even the artist doesn't like. Barry Manilow says that song is misinterpreted because it really should have been sung by somebody who is an unknown, because it's supposed to be about how music writes itself, and nobody really writes the songs. Music is just a thing, and it writes the songs.
I am music.
Right.
And I write
Our friends are
songs.
bad.
Manilow says, but me singing that, already having all these hits and everything, makes me sound like I'm, saying that I'm the, Barry Manilow is the music, and it really didn't work. And he even himself says that.
Did he say that after it sold 50 million copies?
Yeah. Well, this was like a few years ago. So
Interesting.
Yeah, it had stopped selling. He didn't say that at the peak of sales. That's for sure.
So I didn't know we were like doing like a song that like annoys people.
Well, I just told you be 45 prepared. So I mean,
I also did. Yeah, you didn't tell us what.
I did
what
say
it
that,
would be.
but
yeah.
hi,
yeah.
Kimmy.
We used to go to a place called Judy's Pizzeria, and we would go every Friday night, usually Saturday night. We go after the turnabout dance or the sock hop. We had all that crap in high school and junior high. And
Did you go to school in the 50s?
No, but they just kind of did that.
You
just
said sock hop.
Yeah, sock
I did.
hop. That's...
No, I did. We had a sock hop.
I heard you. Really?
It
They
was
had sock
1982.
hops?
It was 1981 even. Yeah, we did.
Wow.
But we would go to Judy's Pizzeria afterwards, and I would be with the lady of my choice.
Oh.
And I would always play this. It was
of course you would. Of course you would.
It was always on the jukebox.
Yeah, we're all waiting for the day we have to listen to a Gary Newman album for the album review.
Oh, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'll make you listen to his worst album I recorded. But this is a great single. This is a British release. Oh, God, I love this. I still love this song. I don't care. You know what?
The Judy Bats did a really wonderful cover of that song. I mean, it's not as good as Gary's, but the Judy Bats did a really good cover of that song.
UK 45s with a modest hole.
Yeah, the modest hole.
What?
Modest hole. No, I would play this every time I went into Judy's Pizzeria. Right after I bought a pack of cigarettes for 50 cents.
I wish
with those touch tunes things, the touch tunes
this
that
is
they have now.
School. This is old school. Like you throw a couple of quarters and yeah.
They have the touch tunes now where you can play songs with your phone, basically.
From your phone.
Oh yeah.
The thing now is to drive by a place or go just sit in the parking lot and play the worst music on the jukebox inside and then drive away. You don't get to see the people's reaction though, but that's apparently a thing that people do. And literally, Nickelback is one of the groups. I hate people, so I'm going to ruin everybody's night. I used to go to a bar where somebody was always throwing on, and the guys behind the bar had the remote, so they just turned it off. But somebody was constantly throwing on like the longest songs. There was a live version of November Rain that's like 12 minutes long that was somehow in the jukebox. That was always on. 2112 from Rush, the live version of that. It was like, what the hell?
One of my good friends worked at a bar like a block from my house, and he got fired. And I could sit on my sofa and play music on that jukebox. And after he got fired, I played Coal Miner's Daughter over and over and over and over. And finally somebody was like, what the fuck? Because they just turned it off. And I knew somebody who still worked at the bar. And he looked, I admitted it one night, drunkenly somewhere. And he's like, you're the motherfucker who does that? I'm like, yeah, I am. It's great. Also a great
I
song.
love it.
My husband
great
had
song.
this, and had somehow used to tap
What is
in.
that? What is that? Shagadelic sound.
Psychedelic Saints. Oh,
Everyone is a button, and he somehow got into the local Target store intercom. This was back in the '90s or early 2000s, and used to play this. Somehow he hacked into their intercom from home and would play like you used to push these, and it would be like, "Are you horny, baby?" or "Yeah, Shagadelic" or whatever, and that would come over the Target intercom. Are you horny, baby? While people were shopping for their whatever.
and that's what they need to hear when they're shopping for their whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure
So-
people probably still talk about that to this day. The memories they have of being at Target, and then Austin Powers comes over the intercom.
That would have been funny at the Arby's there that Chris is talking about wiring in Meat is Murder to be played in an Arby's restaurant.
Oh my god, that'd be great, Chris.
My first job was Arby's, and we actually had a record player in the. Were you Arby's your first job too?
My very first job was Arby's.
Hello, for the Arby's people.
Making
Yeah.
Jamocha shakes. And...
Arby's is different. Yeah, I still have my fucking shirt. I'm not lying.
Oh, don't.
I
get rid of
cut the
that.
sleeves off. It's got my name on it. Yeah, I pimped my Arby's
Get
shirt.
my sleeves off.
Mhm.
That is not roast beef, Craig.
Oh yeah, so we actually had a record player in our
It's
office,
people.
and we would play all kind of like one of the managers brought in like Taj Mahal, and she like there's this song where it's like
fuck
meat
yeah.
is coming, my meat is coming. She's like, let's play my meat is coming. I'm like, she was crazy. But I would like to get back because I have not got to share my experience at Pizza Hut. There are so many wonderful things that you could choose. I mean, you could choose Stripers, honestly. I mean, it's Striper.
Did you just pull that out? Like you just have
it
it there?
was here waiting for you.
Yeah, but are bitches and hoes going to even know what that is?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it would be beautiful, or maybe to hell with the devil. But Striper.
Bitches and hoes would start getting into that 2 minutes, and they'd be like,
you could have.
What is this?
I haven't heard that name
He's
Striper
a woman.
for decades until you just
Striper's
said it.
freaking
Striper. Jesus.
I just remember they
I'm
used to
like-
dress like bumblebees.
It's just
Weren't they always like in?
They definitely
yellow
had a
and
black and yellow motif.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all I
I
remember.
love their bumblebee motif. Okay, or
Taxi cab.
maybe some Cliff Richard with some Devil Woman. Now, of course, it's got to be
love
on the
that
Choo-Choo
song.
Train label. That's the other. There's no other one
Look at
exists.
you.
I love
That's
the
awesome.
Choo-Choo Train. Yeah. This is a recent purchase, but I do have my original one that I had when I was like 5. Well, it was older than that, but it could possibly, you know what, Connie Vanette, she did a wonderful song called the Pussycat Song. Maybe you would want to annoy somebody with that. But
Oh my
honestly,
God, those bitches and hoes would be all over
They
that
would be
song.
all
The
up on it.
Pussycat song?
the
Bitches
Pussycat
and
Song.
hoes.
They would
But
be
you
like,
know what?
turn that up. Oh my God, then they would want to know what it was. That's the one that's like, my pussycat was doing something, sore, wet, pussy. Just a
Yes,
friendly
that is
little
the
cat.
best song ever.
My pussycat,
God.
her pussycat does something each time, and it
Oh,
gets
yeah,
either
the
sore, and then
pussycat
it does
is
something else that
sore,
gets
it is
wet,
wet,
and then at the
it is
end of the thing,
old.
she adds them all up each line
Oh,
and goes,
yeah.
my old,
The pussycat is
sore,
hungry.
wrinkled, wet,
Oh.
pussy,
Hungry,
hungry,
tired.
One,
Tired
one,
pussy.
one because you left me, and two because my family, and three,
Going to the supermarket with their EBT card. That is what the pussycat is doing. Miss you want us to sing? Will someone sing Striper?
There should have been a double-sided 45 with
I
that
cannot,
and Telephone
I-
Man from Marie.
It's
What was her
I
name?
can't remember Striper.
Striper.
I can't remember Striper.
God,
All I
that's
know
so
is
long.
that it was
But-
like shrill metal.
Striper, that was 15 minutes ago. We're on to
I
fucking
know, she was
Telephone
on,
Man and
Halloween
what was it?
Glenn Campbell,
Pussycats.
but there was really only one song that you play when you're going to annoy everybody at the Pizza Hut 20 years after you went there last, and the same people work there and the same jukebox is there, right? Of course, it is Rockin' Sydney's And look, this is one from a jukebox.
Yeah.
Don't mess with my fucking toot toot. Don't mess with my toot toot. You can
have the other woman, but don't mess with my toot.
Don't mess with my toot toot.
Did you? I mean, we had country morning shows that would discuss for 4 hours what a toot toot was.
What the hell is a toot toot?
Trying to decipher that song. We don't. It's a silly song. It doesn't really make sense. Half of it is like a toot toot is a baby that she's having, and then it's like a toot toot is like her titties or something.
She was born in a birth suit. The doctor smacked her behind. Said you're gonna be special. Said you're gonna be fine.
You sweet little toot toot. So a toot toot's a baby. I would like
to state, for the record, that is based on a true story, because this 45 was in the Pizza Hut jukebox where I grew up. And my best friend Heather and I, starting in like high school, every single time we went to the Pizza Hut, we would play this. And we went back when we were in our freaking 30s. And they had the same jukebox with the same song. And we played Don't Mess With My Toot Toot like 18 times in a row. And there was the same gal that was working at the Pizza Hut when we went there, when we were teenagers. And she's like, I remember you kids. I haven't heard this song since the last time you were here. We're like, you're welcome. And she goes, could you please not play it again? So Heather grabbed a $5 bill and went and put the $5 bill in and played it like 30 more times. So,
wow.
Why?
Because that's how we care.
That poor woman.
You know what? And I think she loved us for it. So
the most annoying record, we didn't have the Pizza Hut like that. We had a Waffle House like that. That had an old jukebox that literally played, like this jukebox, it literally played 45s. And this was like in 2010.
Oh, yeah.
And the most annoying song to play on it, we found out after a few like 3 o'clock in the morning visits, was Roseanne Cash, 7-Year Ache, because the 45 they had backskipped. And every time it was played, it's a great song. My husband loves that song. I love that song. Group of that song. It's like a disco country, four-time disco country song. We both love Roseanne Cash. But that 45 would backskip, and every time it was played, somebody from the back would have to stop what they were doing, walk all the way out to the front, and literally hit the jukebox like the Fonz to get it to, and then it would jump over like a whole minute of the song. But every time. So that was probably literally the most, annoying 45 you could play. That actual skipping Roseanne Cash. No.
I kind of did the same thing for Neil Diamond.
I would die. Neil Diamond.
It was probably about 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And he was coming to Chicago. He was at the Rosemont Horizon, which is out by the airport. It's just an airplane hangar. It's horrible. But we went to see, I was like, we're going to see Neil Diamond. And I bought tickets for me and my 4 best gay friends. But they were like $80 a piece. And I was like, no, it's fun. We'll have a good night out. I don't care if they pay me back. We'll just have a good night. And they were really bad seats. And I think the first half, you can ask my friend Sylvester, he'll disagree, but I thought the first half of the show was really good. He was playing like Kentucky Woman and, traveling, and he was doing all the really good shit. And then all of a sudden he started with that Jonathan Livingston Seagull bullshit. And this song went on for like a half an hour, and you could just feel the entire place just go like nobody, like the women in front of us were throwing panties, and we were in like there was no way he was seeing enough.
I would have been
if I ever went to a concert like that, I would definitely bring a jockstrap and throw that Tom Jones or like Neil Diamond, one of them people.
I have always wanted to do that. Some tidy whities with stains on them. Here you go, baby.
Because they have those black lights on stage.
Fresh stains, so that when they pick it off the floor, it goes.
60-year-old women, and they all had like underwear in their purses, and they were just throwing them. And we're in like the 800 section, like they're just throwing them on.
Oh, there's no way the panties would hit them.
Oh no, they were hitting
my Lord.
Straight men and like the.
Can you?
Okay, speaking of Neil, like the best concert album ever.
How did you pull
What in the hell is the deal with Okay, the butcher sleeve is one thing.
Diamond is right behind you.
The butcher sleeve is, I don't have that on any format.
He's
The
right
butcher
here.
sleeve is one thing. What in the hell is the deal with that album cover?
Yeah. It's not a good album cover.
You're going to go ahead and tell me that they couldn't come up with a better shot
And I
of
would
Neil
like to
Diamond in
also let you
concert
know-
than that.
Wait,
It's
where
a
is it?
great
Where is
live
it?
album, Craig.
It looks like he is. What is he doing on that album cover? Why would you do that?
Is he playing the clarinet with his penis?
Clarinets are not that big. Clarinets are up here.
Oh, it's true. But no.
I played the clarinet. It's here. It's not down here. That's more like a
I'm
bass saxophone. Or...
Listen, I'm saying his
I've
penis.
played the penis,
is
and it's
actually
definitely not
playing
a
the
clarinet.
That is
penis
quite the
is-
penis because he's still jerking with the other hand up
Well,
here.
you
If
know,
that's a penis.
And,
So
and
that's
we
that's
also
a
have Hot August Nights
that's
too.
what is from
Yeah,
here to
but
here? That's like
The
10
first
inches.
the
But
first one is
this-
really good.
This
Yeah,
is
no,
it.
no, it is. It's
This
probably his
is
number
it.
one selling album, I would think.
God, with that cover.
I know with this cover.